Now, Victoria, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
So Victoria is a first-timer here on the show.
Yes.
She is going to talk about networking tips and how, not only just how she, what she has done networking, but I think I'm impressed at how she has actually tracked her business and percentage of business that's grown over the years through her networking activities, and she's stuck with it. So Victoria comes to us from the El Cerrito office. She's been in the business 26 years. She has 2 kids in college, and Victoria describes herself, she's very flexible. She works with buyers and sellers, obviously like all of us, would prefer to have listings in this market. But I've seen her, one of the things that I admire about Victoria is that every single training that I've ever been to or given at this company, Victoria is in the audience. She is always learning, always networking, and clearly it's paid off in her business. So welcome, Victoria.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm there.
Yeah.
Life learner.
That life learner, always be learning. All right, so let's just jump in. You're very active with a number of organizations in your community. So how has it paid off? Not just professionally in terms of your business, but personally. How have you grown in both ways?
Well, I'd start out with personally. Networking is what I do best. It's what I enjoy the most. It's what really works for me. It's all about building lifelong quality relationships, and I do it on an everyday basis. Personally, I'm pretty down to earth and real. It's easy for me to approach people, and so I build relationships at different gatherings that I'm at. In fact, I benefit from it quite a bit personally because I meet people and then they invite me to their homes in Hawaii. So I'll be at one of my clients' homes in Hawaii in October when I go to Kathy Allerton's Inspire group.
Hey, very nice.
Yes, kind of a matchmaker. I've lined up seven couples along the way, so that's kind of benefited me personally, friends. I meet lots of dynamic people when I'm out and about, and of course in my different networking groups there are people that want to do things socially. So I was out sailing for 11 hours on 4th of July with somebody I met from a networking group. Mm-hmm. I learn a lot from the people that I meet. Again, I mentioned I was a life learner. So also diversity. When I meet people out in the networking field, it adds to my sphere of influence with a lot more diversity.
When you say diversity, what do you mean? Just people that are not necessarily people you would have befriended along the way?
There's different personality types. If you've Keith has taught a DISC program. I am a promoter and a driver. So I'm a very task-oriented person, and I'm also very enthusiastic, so kind of a cheerleader. But there are other people out in the world who are nurturers, who are analyzers, and I meet different types of people, and you don't want the same kind of people on your team. You want different types of people to really make it work. So it helps me when I'm out in the field networking in different groups to meet different types of people because they help me be a better me. Mm-hmm. Professionally, bottom line, networking and getting transactions from these relationships boosts my bottom line. So I make more business. And I was very surprised last night when I was going through my stats. I only went back like 4 or 5 years, but basically in 2009 and 10, I was getting nothing from networking, and then I started joining a lot of organizations, and in 2011, 12% of my production was networking related. In 2012, 26% of my production was networking related, and this year, in just 6 months, 60%. So more than half of my business has been directly from networking.
Wow, that's very impressive.
Thank you.
First of all, kudos to you for tracking it. I think it's so important for us in our business to know where our transactions come from.
Thank you.
Where do our contacts come from? Where does our business come from? What do we need to be doing more of? What do we need to be doing less of? So that's great that you do that. And then secondly, of course, it sounds like you've deepened your relationships into these organizations. So
absolutely. Back to my how it's affected me professionally. It helps your reputation and credibility, is your career image when you're out networking and people know who you are and what you do. I also am very strategic when I go to gatherings. I try to go with a power partner. I go with somebody, for instance, a mortgage broker or attorney or financial planner, somebody that, basically we cross-promote at the mixers. You don't promote yourself, you promote each other. So basically, it's all about let me help you help me, and it's a win-win, that's the way I live my life. But basically, that's about how I benefit from my networking, both personally and professionally.
Okay, so I heard a lot of things, but I heard 3 key things, and that was, other than tracking, be strategic, go with the power partner, and make it a win-win. So it's important that people approach this as not just what's in it for me and I'm going to get business, but I need to go into it with an attitude that I'm going to help others. Because in this world, this is a Cathyologianism, right? In this world, what you put out, you get back.
Absolutely.
And so what are some of those ways that you have helped others?
Well, first of all, I need to say that you definitely need to build your social capital. You need to give a lot. You need to be generous with your time. You need to be there for people, and therefore you will feel more comfortable when you need to ask them for help or ask them for a referral.
Okay, great. Build your social capital. That's a great one. And so when you need to, you can pull out from that social capital, right? You have that. So some people are reluctant to appear like they're selling in social situations, but it sounds as though you've dug in fairly deep. So you're not just skimming the surface of these organizations. Right?
Well, first of all, when you talk about deep, unfortunately, I lost my younger brother 8 years ago, and I used to keep my personal and my business very separate, and I was in stiff competition for a listing with 11 other listing agents, and the sellers narrowed it down to one other person and me, and they called me back, and I just had to be honest with them about what was happening personally in my life, that I was planning a celebration of life for my younger brother's passing, and they were very compassionate. I normally never tell anybody about my personal life, but they were very compassionate, understanding. They hired me, and I got them top dollar. So I assured them that I could still function because I've been doing this for a long time, and I know what I'm doing, and they were very happy. So that helped me understand that you don't need to separate the personal and the business. You need to get deeper. People want to know that you're a real human being, that you have issues just like they have issues. You don't want to get them bogged down in your personal things, but you want to get deeper. You don't want to be surface. If you're just surface with everybody, you won't get any business because people want to be real with each other. So let me just say, when I go to a listing or go to any kind of networking opportunity, which I'm in many, I do not talk business or career. I basically am very approachable. I have direct eye contact with people. You want them to know that they are the most important person in the room when you're talking to them.
But you've got your name tag on.
Absolutely. I wear my name tag all the time. I wear it to Costco, and people ask me about real estate, and I don't know how they know I'm a realtor. It's funny. But I shake hands with people if I don't know them, and if I do know them, of course, I hug them. I'm always open and welcoming. I try to smile. I think smiling is really nice, and be alert and interested and knowledgeable.
And be interested, not just interested.
Absolutely.
Right? Both.
And be trustworthy. And so I give this image when I'm out networking, but number one, I do not talk about my business. I do not like people to sell me, and I will not sell them.
We're all the same. Who wants to walk into a networking event and have someone say, "Hi, I'm so-and-so with Joe's Auto Car," right?
Absolutely.
No one wants to. You need to just use some common sense.
Well, people don't work with people just because you hand them a business card. They work with people they know, they like, and they trust. I'm in Successful Thinkers, and that's our motto. So basically, you talk to people about what their passion is, what they're into, where they're from, families, etc. But basically, you're looking for an opportunity to build a relationship. Once they know you, like you, trust you, then they will send you their friends and family, other people.
Yeah, no, that's great. So how do you volunteer on committees for these organizations? I mean, and that's the first question. And second of all, how do you balance it all? How do you run your business, go to all the trainings you do the networking, and not just attend networking events, but actually get very involved?
I did get overboard for a while. I was doing so much networking, I didn't have much time for business. That was not good. And I have 2 kids in college, so I need to stay focused. But I'm very connected in my community. I have joined a lot of organizations. I do a lot of volunteerism. My friends, jokingly call me the social maven in the El Cerrito, Albany area. I'm kind of the go-to person. You don't just need them to come to you for real estate. You want them to come to you for everything. Who do you go to for a dentist? Which restaurant do you recommend? Who's a handyman I can use, etc. So you want to be the go-to people for everyone. And basically, I've joined quite a few different organizations. I think the most successful for my career has been the Business Networking International. That's a professional business organization. I'm in the Abundant Referral group up in the Hiller Highlands Country Club in the Oakland Hills.
So is that an organization that has chapters all over the Bay
Yes,
Area?
it's international, so it's all over the world.
Can you say it again? What is the name of it?
It's called Business Networking International. It's a professional business networking group, and I really, really enjoy that. And I can say I have gotten about 6 listings from people in that group in the last year and 3 months.
Now, are these people in the group or people who are referring you to other people?
We have about 35 members in our group now, different professions, and we can also access all the other groups. But basically one per profession, and we basically promote each other in the world, in the industry.
So you give other people.
I give them referrals, they give me referrals, and it's a win-win.
Yeah,
it's a mastermind. The other group, I'm in a training called Certified Networker through the Referral Institute, and it's really wonderful program. It really helps you stay connected and identified with what you want to do in your life. It's for small business owners and sales professionals who are wanting to create clarity around their referral messages and develop an understanding of who the right people are that we want to collaborate with, so we can be strategic about our power partners and generate referrals. So basically boost the bottom line. So Certified Networker through the Referral Institute's helped me a lot. They're in Concord, and they're opening another chapter in Oakland. The other group, like I mentioned earlier, was Successful Thinkers in Alameda, and that's, again, a mastermind where it's all about you do not lead by your business card. You lead by talking about them personally. Some local things in El Cerrito, Albany. I'm involved in the Chamber of Commerce for both, and I'm on the board of directors in Albany. Seroptimus, Women Empowering Girls and Women, so I'm in a lot of outreach groups. What I really, really have passion for, my younger sister is a breast cancer survivor, and I'm involved in Relay for Life, which is coming up July 20th and 21st in El Cerrito if anyone's interested. So it's a fundraiser for American Cancer Society. I do a lot of environmental cleanup. I was a past member of the Friends of the Kensington Library, and I can literally say I've gotten 3 escrows through people at the library.
Wow.
Yes. And then, of course, staying involved in the association, the West Contra Costa Association of Realtors.
Right, absolutely. All right, good. Well, good information on the specifics. It sounds like you've got it pretty well-rounded. Some of them are business groups, some charity groups, some local community. So, mix it up. And
have a variety and do what you have passion for, what you really are into in your area.
Very, very important. If you would rather do the business, stick with the business. If you rather do the community, stick with the community. But really do something that you're passionate about. Because if you're passionate about it, you'll tend to stick with it and grow with it and get deeper.
And people will know you're sincere about it. You're not just working the people. You are doing something that you really have your heart in.
Right. Absolutely. Great point. Okay, good. So let's look at Victoria's tips for networking. And keep in mind, in 2009, 12% of her business was from her networking activities, and in 2013 so far, 60% of her business is from networking.
Correct.
So this is clearly working for her. So,
there's still other things, sphere of influence, referrals, marketing, etc., but basically the networking is taking over because it's what I love to do. It comes naturally to me, and it's what works.
Right. All right, so this first one. So, some of these you've talked about a little bit, touched on, but join organizations and volunteer, become a social maven. So when you say join the organization, do you mean just go to the occasional meeting, or do you mean go and head up a committee?
No, I become, you need to get involved, and I become officers at the different groups, an ambassador, or I've been vice president of some of the groups. There's 2 things you need to be careful of. You do need to set your boundaries so you don't spread yourself too thin. And you also need, when you're in these networking opportunities, to really strategize and focus who you want to partner with and who will help benefit your business. There's a lot of people that will just take advantage of your time, and you won't get anything from it. So
you might make some contacts with some people that are nice, but not necessarily going to help your business.
No,
so
they're not going to be power
focused
partners.
On why you're there.
Correct. Not power partners.
Okay. All right. So be a life learner.
Well, it helps to be a life learner. To try new things, experience new life experiences, invest in yourself. I've been spending a lot of time in my own professional development. Like I said, I have 2 kids. One's just leaving for college, so now I can kind of reinvest in myself. I've been sacrificing for a long time in a lot of ways, and I have no regrets, but now it's my time. And I do believe in investing in yourself. You're worth it. You'll meet a lot of other like-minded people and you can do business with them. And again, I mentioned diversity, so I'll meet people of different paths of their lives, and they can influence me in positive ways. I'm an avid reader, and there's no reason you have to sit at home and read a book. You could read a book at a coffee shop. One day I was at Starbucks at El Cerrito Plaza, and I was sitting there reading a book, and I think I ran into 12 people I knew, and a couple of them said, oh, I know somebody who wants to buy a house, and the other one said, oh, I need to buy an investment property. So I think it's good to be out there.
Be out there, wear your name tag, don't be shy. We are in a social business. This is what we do.
Absolutely.
So be sure to don't be a secret agent.
No. I have an experience with that. I had a neighbor who listed their house, and I went by to check out their new $50,000 kitchen, and they said, Victoria, we didn't know you were a realtor. And I did that specifically because I don't want the neighbors thinking every time I smile or wave at them I'm trying to sell their house. Right. So I didn't, and they said, well, they didn't sell it. They didn't get what they needed, and they've kept it, and they moved away, and they kept it as rental property. But they said, when we do sell it, you're the one. It's just, I just didn't want them to think that was the reason I had the relationship.
So don't be afraid to you don't have to be pelting people every week with postcards.
No.
But do stay in touch. Do let everyone around you, whether it's your farm, your neighborhood, your sphere, and of course networking. Let them know what you do.
That's a very good point. I had a childhood girlfriend's parents I ran into at a restaurant. They said, oh, did you retire from real estate? We don't see you in the newspaper anymore. And I explained to them, they're an older couple, I explained that nowadays people are on the internet. They're not necessarily in the newspaper, but I'm still there. So that was kind of interesting.
Yeah, interesting. All right, so be high touch.
Yes. High touch meaning make sure that your clients know you're available for them. I have said in the past, they say, oh, how are you doing? I say, I'm really busy. Then that implies that you're too busy for them. So I don't say that anymore. People like to work with people, like I said, that they know, like, and trust. So,
but who will make time for them?
Exactly. Get deep, really connect, but make sure that you're available for them. Make sure that they know where you are, how they can find you. If you change out, addresses or cell phone numbers or emails, make sure to contact everybody. So that's how I feel about being high touch.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Okay, good. So be consistently available and ready for your client. Keep in touch.
Oh yeah. So I do send out the quarterly market reports, and people love it. I kind of forget who's on it, and I'm at the gas station pumping my gas, and someone says, "Oh, Victoria, thanks for the report. I just got it."
And that's an automatic for those of you that are not sending it. It's you sign up and you can forget about it. You can sign up, folks, and as soon as the report is there, it goes out and it's branded by you. So that's
it's a no-brainer. You should definitely do that.
And the other thing too is I just want to intersect, and that is that according to NAR stats, something amazing like 38%, 80% of clients would reuse their agent again, but only about 22% of buyers and 38% of sellers actually do. It's because we're not good at staying in touch.
Right.
So we need to make sure to have a follow-up system for not only prospective clients, but past clients as well.
Absolutely. I think my deceased grandmother has a big influence on me. She was a total etiquette queen, so I send out lots and lots of cards. Thank you cards.
Handwritten cards.
Oh, handwritten. I scribble, so I have to be neater. But handwritten cards, birthday cards, anniversary cards for when they bought their house. It's very important that you keep that personal touch.
Absolutely.
People have called me and said, I don't know if you remember me. I sold you a house. You sold me a house 5 years ago. My name is, and I'll start telling them all the details of the house and their kids, and they were shocked. Right. But it's like, you need to really keep in touch. One time we had executive officer at the Board of Realtors, and he said, Victoria, it's your responsibility to keep in touch with them, not their responsibility to try to find you.
Right, exactly. And I think sometimes I talk to agents and they say they have an experience like the one you expressed, where someone that they have lost contact with sold or bought a house, and it's heartbreaking to know that someone, even someone fairly close to you, but it's really your job to make sure you're out there staying in contact with people. So make sure there are so many inexpensive, easy ways to stay in touch with people now that there's really no reason not to.
Well, back to this question, I recently got a testimonial letter from my clients. They live in Piedmont, and I was selling a rental property of theirs in the East Richmond Heights. And they were very complimentary in the testimonial letter, saying that I never put them on hold. In other words, I was very available by email, by text, by cell phone calls, and I got back to them immediately. People love that.
So immediate response. Don't tell them you're busy.
Nope.
Tell them it's a
great market.
It's a great market, and engage them in conversation. But I like the busy tip. That's a good one.
Yes.
So keep a fresh internet presence. Okay, this is a very important one. I actually did a show on this a couple months ago about expanding your digital footprint. So talk about this.
Well, people need to change with the times. I've been in real estate 26 years, and back in the old days, we had index cards and paper books, and it was a different life.
Yeah.
That was before fax machine, by the way. So I had to run all over the Bay Area
Whoa,
for one
you are
initial.
dating yourself.
For one initial. Yes, I've been doing real estate half of my life now. So basically the internet, about 90% of buyers find their homes on the internet. So I make sure to have a virtual tour. I make sure that I put it on Craigslist, everything that I list, and I stay on Facebook, LinkedIn, Realtor.com, all these different sites, so that I can be available. And I've had lots of phone calls recently from out-of-state sellers who need to sell their deceased parents' homes in the El Cerrito Hills, and I've asked them, how did you get my name and number? They said, oh, I checked you out on the website.
They Googled you.
Absolutely.
They Googled real estate agents in El Cerrito.
Absolutely. And I Google myself all the time to change my information. And I do meet with Eric Thomas once a month. He comes to my office, and I'm one of the old-timers that makes my 1-hour appointment with him. Mm-hmm. And he helps me refresh my website every month. Mm-hmm. I have statistics. I have new testimonial letters. That's very important that people can read about you so they feel comfortable.
And Victoria just touched on something very important, and that is, it's important to have a web presence through doing all these free profiles, making sure that you're updating your website. Your website should not be static. It should not, yes, it is an online brochure so you can drive people there from your business card and whatnot, but if you want to be found on the internet, you have to be constantly changing that information up. So whether it's adding new jump searches, whether it's adding new content, whether it's linking it to your blog, whether it's adding testimonial letters, some kind of content about your local market, whatever it is, change it on a regular basis and take advantage of having Eric in your office. He's there. Every office has him. So you can sign up for a 1-hour session with him, as Victoria does. And make sure that you're doing your free profiles on Trulia. You should have a free profile on SF Gate through our partnership with them. And you can send your bio to your office administrator, and she'll make sure that that gets up on SF Gate as well as on BHGRE, our national Better Homes and Gardens site. So there are a lot of ways that you can be found. You don't have to pay for. They're free. They're easy. And so just make sure that you are, expanding your digital footprint, because that's where buyers are going right now, and sellers.
Absolutely. I just had lunch with a videographer because I would like to switch from testimonial letters to videos from my satisfied clients and a small video of myself when they get onto my website. So those are things I'm planning to do in the future.
Great. So listen to Victoria. She's changing with the times. She's been in the business 26 years, but she's really added a extra layer of marketing activity and expertise in there. It's new to her. She's not afraid of it. It's one of the things I love about you, Victoria. You just jump in. So video is also important. Why is video important? It's because it's indexed very highly by Google and other search engines. Also, agent reviews are Googled highly. So if you are on Zillow, even if you're not on Zillow, do a free profile on Zillow. You can have your clients actually review you, and you can get 3, 4, 5 stars and be found more easily. So the name of the game is to be found, and when you're found, to have quality information that you update consistently for people to find you. So don't be a secret agent. Make sure to Google yourself. Well, Victoria, this has been great. Thank you for sharing all this wonderful information.
Thank you for having me. Everybody has their own style. The networking is just really what works for me.
Absolutely. Well, we're in a social business. I know I've learned from you. I'm sure many others have as well. And we will send out some information on this show from Victoria to everyone who's been on the call. Thank you so much for coming on today.
Thank you. Take care.
Okay.